I'm most excited to wake up every day and be able to start my day with you as my wife, and knowing that there's nowhere else I'd rather be than here with you.
Mm-hmm. I could 100% agree with that, and I'm thankful that I have you to do life with, and how easy it is for us to do life together, where it doesn't feel like we have to try at all. Like it comes natural, and I'm so thankful for that you don't. Yeah.
I think the thing that most attracted me to Katelyn was the way that we just locked eyes with each other the first time we met. And even after that, before we really started hanging out, I would just look up. We were at a friend's house, and I would just look up and look across the room, and she would just be looking at me with the same eyes that I was looking at her with. And it just drew me to her. The more I got to talk to her and the more I got to know her, the more I saw that she's not only the most beautiful girl I've ever met on the outside, but she's got the most beautiful heart out of anybody I've ever met. And that's when I fell in love with her heart, and wasn't just her. But she's the whole package, man. Like, I tell you.
When I first saw Josh, oh my goodness. I, first of all, did not want to meet him in the very beginning, and I was told, you have nothing else to lose, and so I was like, fine, I'll meet him, whatever. And so I showed up. They were going to hang out somewhere, and they invited me, and I showed up, and he was the sweetest person I could have ever met. I don't know, his whole face just, I don't even know how to explain it. It just lights me up.
I knew that she was the one because you always hear stories about how people find out, and you can be kind of skeptical about it until it really happens. And for the first time in my life, I just knew, without a shadow of a doubt, this is who I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Nobody's ever made me as happy, nobody's ever made me believe in myself like she has. I wake up in the morning and go to work, and all I can think about is getting off and going to see her. And even at work, I try to be the best I can just so I can build a better life for us. And I've never had those feelings before I met her.
I knew when I met him for that first time that in my mind, I was like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to like him at all. So I did everything in my power to just don't make eye contact, because I know as soon as I look in those big old brown eyes, I'm just gonna melt. And so we gave it a shot, and we hung out for that first time, and I was just kind of playing it cool. I didn't want him to know that I was into him or anything, and I was just trying to make it seem like I wasn't interested, so maybe he wouldn't be interested, so neither one of us would just, I don't know. And so a couple weeks later, I was invited again to come hang out with them, and I walked in and his face lit up, and I knew as soon as he looked at me like that, I was like, this guy doesn't even know me. Like, why is he looking at me like he's just head over heels? I don't understand. And so as the night went on and we were hanging out, I would just keep looking up, and he'd just be looking like he just thought I was all that in a bag of chips. And I just was like, this guy is too sweet. I don't understand what he sees. Like, I don't know. So I knew in my head, I was like, we need to sit down and have a conversation, because I need to know what's in his heart, and I need to know that if this is worth pursuing, then we're gonna go for it. And later that night, we sat down and we talked and we talked for a good solid 3 hours about our intentions and like our hearts, things we've been through, things we've learned, our beliefs, like, I don't know, and everything that we were saying just matched perfectly. And I was like, oh my word, how in the world could this be possible? I never thought that there would be somebody so form-fitted for me. And so I was like, all right, we can give this a shot. And after 3 weeks of us hanging out and stuff, I was like, I'll finally give him my phone number. And so we've just been stuck at the hip ever since. And
Katelyn has taught me how to be humble. She's taught me to never settle. I was okay with a lot of things going on in my life, but she taught me to never stop reaching to be better, for the next day to be better than the one before, because you never know if you're going to have the day after that. Overall, she's taught me to be a better person. She's taught me to love myself, to love others more than I have in the past, and to just have an open heart. She's helped, taught me that your relationship with God is just as important as your relationship with your neighbors next door, and she definitely taught me a lot.
Me. I made the first move. It was, I don't even know. I think it was just one of those feelings when you just know, like, this guy is the real deal. And I laid a smooch on him, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? But, yep, that was me.
Well, I honestly believe I made the first move. I think I went in for the kiss first. And but it was more of a mutual thing. It wasn't like you see in movies where you go 90, the girl goes 10. No, we definitely met in the middle.
He said that he loved me a good while before I said it back.
So where were you?
Oh man, we were on the couch, the same couch that we had that first conversation. Whenever we were talking and just kind of knowing. That was when you said it. Mm-hmm. And you just told me all the things that you appreciated about me and that you adored, and you said that you loved me, and I was like,
okay.
Thanks. And then I think what was it, like maybe a month later, month and a half-ish, we went and I met his family in Turbeville, in Lake City area.
We were sitting on the swing of my dad's porch.
Mm-hmm. Pretty house, big old porch.
She just looked up and told me. And I thought about saying thanks back. I had to figure out a way to get Katelyn away without her knowing exactly what was going on. 'Cause she had been talking for a couple of weeks now about, I could tell that she was starting to wonder if it was going to happen soon, when it was going to happen. Of course, she kind of started wondering when I kind of asked her what kind of ring she would like, if we ever did and all that. So I had to figure out a way to separate it. So we went, Memorial Day weekend, I picked her up. We went to Charleston for the weekend. She was already a little skeptical because all of our friends were at the lake. All of our family was at the lake. She was like, okay, we're going to Charleston for some reason when we normally would be at the lake with our friends and family. But I told her I just really wanted to get away for a while, and I wanted her to go with me, and we both love Charleston, so we just needed to go.
Oh my goodness, I was the biggest, oh man. The day we got engaged I was the biggest punk in the whole world. It was probably the only time he's ever seen me be like a brat, straight up. And so it was Memorial Day weekend, and everybody was going to the lake. So in my head, I was like, oh, we're just gonna go to the lake and enjoy our weekend with our friends and family. Like, everybody was going to the lake. And Josh was like, I don't really want to go to the lake. I think we should go to Charleston. I'm like, Charleston? Like, we're missing out on all the fun. I don't understand why you want to do that. And whatever, I'm like, I'm always down for a Charleston trip. Charleston's beautiful. And so we went, and you know, the weeks before and stuff, he's like, man, I can't wait to marry you. I can't wait to marry you. And we talk about it all the time, and how excited we are and our plans in the future. And so we, in my head, I was like, he's been talking an awfully lot about getting engaged, and I was like, maybe this is the time. Like, this is gonna be the time that we get engaged, and it's gonna be so pretty because everybody's going to the lake, and we're going to the most beautiful place in South Carolina.
We woke up early that morning and went out to Boone Hall Plantation. She's in love with Spanish moss, overhanging trees, so that was a perfect place to take her, to make her think that it was gonna happen, which it didn't. And I played it off pretty well. You could tell when we got ready to leave, I could tell a little bit of disappointment in her. But that was my plan the whole time. We got back and we started walking around Charleston. I told her we had planned to go to the Battery that night at sunset just to watch the sunset go down, because she said she's never seen it. So then, as we were spinning around, we take a harbor tour, and when we get back and we're headed back to the hotel. I asked her if she really wants to go to the Battery, or if she would just like to skip it and just go out for dinner. Immediately, her facial expression just dropped. And she's gonna hate me for telling the story, but she stomped around that hotel room like a little kid who got their candy taken away. And finally I sat her down. I was like, what is wrong with you, Katelyn? What is going on? We were having a great time. And she just said, you know, I'm sorry, it's me. I just thought something special was gonna happen, and I shouldn't be trying to think about it. And at that moment I was like, yes, got her.
Well, he told me everything we were doing. So we went to this plantation, and I was like, oh my word, like all these Spanish moss trees, like all the oak trees with the Spanish moss, they're so pretty. I was like, it's gonna happen here, I just know it. So I made sure I looked all pretty, and I was like, ready. And well, we went through the whole plantation and walked around, and we were done with the plantation, and I was like, okay, well. And he said, well, we'll go to the plantation, and then we'll go eat lunch and do the harbor tour. We'll go back and like freshen up and get ready, and we'll go see the sunset at the Battery, and then we'll go on a nice dinner. So I was like, ooh, maybe it's the Battery. We're gonna go see the sunset, and it's gonna be so beautiful and romantic. And so we went on the harbor tour, and I think the sun and the wind, you know, it just started getting to us. And he was like, how would you feel if we didn't go to the sunset, and we just kind of like walk around and go to some restaurants and stuff like that? And I was just like, what? Like, that was my only chance. That one little time that I thought it was gonna happen, and I was like, he doesn't even want to do that. So I was like, maybe we did just come to Charleston just to get away and whatever. And so I was a punk. I was the biggest punk ever. And he was working it though. He knew that, I think he had a hint that I was feeling it out, and I was like, I think it's gonna happen. And so he had to do something to flip-flop it so I wouldn't think anything. And so we went and we freshened up, and I was moping around, walking around. Like, he was like, "What is your deal? I don't understand what your problem is." And I was like, "I thought we were gonna get engaged." And he was like, "How can we get engaged? I haven't like got a ring. I haven't asked your dad. Like, how do you expect me to do that if I haven't even done those other things?" And I was like, dang, okay.
So we made it down. I said, fine, if you want to go to the Battery, we'll go to the Battery. We got dressed up, walked down there, because we were going out to eat for a nice dinner. Went walking all the way down and sat down on a bench in the little park in front of it. I think it's Waterfront Park. And she's arms crossed, just, when do you want to go eat and all this stuff. I was like, let's take a couple pictures. Let's go get somebody to take a picture of us by this tree over here. You love this tree, let's go. She said, I really don't want to bother anybody. I just want to sit here on this bench and enjoy the view. I said, no, we're gonna get up, we're gonna go take this picture by this tree. Come on. So I walked, I found these two ladies laying down, just enjoying the park. And I said, I'm gonna get them to take our pictures. She was raising Cain about it. Leave them alone, they're enjoying their time. I said, they'll be fine, I promise. Walked over to them and I said, you know, ladies, if y'all don't mind, we're about to take this picture by this tree. You mind taking a picture of us? And they said, oh yeah, of course. Then real quietly, I said, also, I'm about to propose. So if you could just switch it to video real quick, that'd be even better. And they immediately went crazy and I was like, yeah, calm down. I had the ring in my right pocket. Katelyn tried to get on my right side, so I had to like maneuver around. And as she looked away, I just got down, and the first thing she said when she turned around, she said, you've been lying to me all day. And then she said yes.
And so he was getting all dressed up, and he was like, should I wear this shirt or this shirt? And I was like, just wear the plaid one. Like, the other one's too dressy, not like we're doing anything. I was a brat. That was horrible. And I wore this dress, and I was not gonna wear the dress because I was being such a punk. And he's like, whatever, since you wanna go to the Battery, we'll go. And I was like, no, like, we'll just do whatever else. So we went to the Battery, and we were sitting on this bench, and he was like, we should get a picture. And I was like, well, okay. I was like, you just take a picture on the bench? I mean, like, we could just selfie it. And he was like, no, like, you love all of these pretty trees, and so let's do it right, and let's get somebody to take our picture in front of a tree. And so I was like, all right, whatever. And these girls were sitting over like by the trees over here, and they were laying down. They looked like they were taking a nap, and I was like, don't go bother them. Next time somebody walks by, we'll just get them to take a quick picture. And so after I said that, everybody that was coming that way ended up turning. I was like, oh my word, this is taking forever. He's like, you know what, I'm going to get those girls. And I was like, no. But he did anyways. And so he went over there, and he was like, hey, do you mind taking a picture of us? Because, you know, we're just here visiting and stuff like that. And here's the thing, I'm about to propose to my girlfriend, and I kind of need you to be a little discreet about it and not let her know that you know. And so they got so excited, and they're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And they came running up to me, and they're like, you look so beautiful. And I was like, why are they being so nice? They're strangers. And so they got ready, and they were about to take our picture, and Josh got on one knee, and oh my word, I started ugly crying, and I was like, you lied all day. But it was the best. I couldn't have asked for it any other way. It was perfect.